This is the home of Midas Letter Live, way up in the Exchange Tower, which is the home of the TSC in downtown Toronto. And all year long, James not only brings all the biggest names in the cannabis space here, he actually goes to them. He kicked off this year with a visit to CannTrust's growing operation in Vaughan.
It's all about yield. It's all about productivity. We are at the pinnacle of automation. We look for new technology every single day.
This is called the F80 Polycaps capsule filling machine, and what we do is fill capsules with cannabis oil. So in our tablets, we're doing 3 varieties, our 1-to-1, our THC, and our CBD. I think this makes it more accessible to patients all around. It's more understandable as a pharmaceutical or medical product, and easier for doctors to prescribe instead of saying a couple puffs of a joint.
Right. Late last winter, James hit the road for Gatineau, Quebec, where Hydroponics was setting up to focus primarily on recreational cannabis.
Here we have a 22,000 square foot flowering bay in which we operate a continuous grow cycle. So what that means is we harvest every 10 days and our customers always have access to top quality fresh marijuana. There's a whole ton of lighting and electricity that goes into marijuana production. The largest inputs between electricity, water, and labor are all cheaper in Quebec. So it gives us a really nice insulated cost advantage, which has been one of the reasons we've been able to achieve 89 cents per gram production cost.
One of the things I've noticed is that you seem to have pretty much the highest gutter heights of any greenhouse operation I've seen yet.
So every foot of height on a large facility as this represents thousands of cubic feet of air. It allows us to dial in environmental controls that much more for much less energy expenditure. All the greenhouse production facilities at Hydroponics were custom built for cannabis. There's no retrofit here.
At Green Relief in Pestilence, Ontario, James got a look at the Aquaponics growing system, which was a little fishy.
Aquaponics is the most sustainable form of agriculture known in the world today. The roots in the system that are in the water suck the nitrates and clean the water for the fish, going right back to the fish tanks from the beds. It's a symbiotic relationship between fish, water, plants. Just like any freshwater lake you've ever paddled through in a canoe, see a lily pad growing, a bulrush is being fed the same way. It's by the fish that are in that lake. From the time we take a cutting to the time we harvest and start drying is 8 weeks. Wow. 6.7 harvests per year. We're getting about 30% more product annually than any other method of growing. So we still get the same nitrate, phosphorus, potassium, micro, macronutrients, and actually more heterotropic and aerobic bacteria action than most of the other systems do in this natural closed loop system. So we actually have more benefit from feeding them converted fish manure than a commercially fertilized scenario.
In May, the Kronos Group invited James to Stayner, Ontario. That's where they've taken a barn and some land and created a bustling production facility.
Fund where we looked at everything and anything, and we saw Peace Naturals as key. The largest land package of any of the licensed producers, access to free on-site water, methane cogeneration, phase 3 power, so it was a huge advantage. This was the first facility to get licensed under the MMPR. It's exciting to see what we've done with this and where we've gone since. You can hear the extraction machines working away. We have extraction machines working 24/7. We can actually control them from the phone. We wanted to make sure everything was easy for people to join the company. So you've got Building 1, Building 2, Building 3, very creative names, Building 4. So welcome to Peace Naturals. As a licensed producer, we don't want patients to come to us for medicine because it's legal. We want them to come to us because of the quality. Quality is the #1 priority. This is a proprietary strain we have called Infinity. This is a very high THC strain, and that's quite popular in Germany right now. If we were to allocate all of our supply to Germany, it still wouldn't scratch the surface. But for us, it's a balance. We're a Canadian-based company, and we want to take care of Canadian demand first. And you can see this is still a few weeks, from maturing. The leaves haven't got to the point where you start seeing color adding in during flush. But that's the quality and the care you put in each plant to be able to have something that's differentiated.
Then it was off to Chiron Life Sciences in beautiful Bogota, Colombia, a country which is working hard to become a leader in the cannabis space.
The way that I view the Colombian market is it's really like kind of rewinding 5 years ago where we were in Canada at that point, an emerging opportunity that is, very much been untapped. 620 million people living in Latin America, 60 million of those people potentially candidates for treatment of conditions with medical cannabis. That's twice the population of Canada. As one of the first licensees, one of the first to receive quota, we're really tip of the spear.
So we're planning all the operations, we're planning all the financing, we are planning on the symposium for tomorrow to start telling all the doctors, all the patients that Chiron is coming.
This is the first symposium on medical cannabis in Colombia. To present them with the justification from a physiologic, from a medical, from a safety, from an efficacy perspective as to why cannabis-based medicines may be a viable option for some of their patients.
So my role as Chief Compliance Officer here is to bring the same level of compliance that DEA mandates to the pharmaceutical industry. I was previously the Chief of Pharmaceutical Investigations for DEA. I was a special agent with the DEA for 26 years. So to take that level of compliance and apply it here brings instant credibility and legitimacy to this industry.
So at this point in time, it seems Colombia is now in the lead in many respects, especially medically. Is that one of the opportunities that you are seeking to capture for Colombia?
Yes, one of the themes that we wanted to develop in Colombia is scientific research. And that scientific research has to be done with the doctors.
We consider ourselves a bit of a family around here, so it was a real pleasure to head down to a family business of patients and growers in Kitchener, Ontario, and actually learn a few things.
You grow here aeroponically as opposed to hydroponically or conventionally. What's the difference between aeroponics, hydroponics, and growing in dirt?
We eliminate any potential intermediary and provide our nutrition in the form of liquid nutrients directly to the root mass of the plant using a special type of mister spray that allows the plant to optimally absorb the nutrients that we provide. There's no chemistry involved in soil composition or in substrate monitoring. So we can optimize directly to the conditions that the plant requires. Because of the high efficiency of our system, we use less nutrients. We use, no pesticides. All of these other elements of cost, which also create work and therefore increase the number of employees required to service the plants, are simply not present when you consider aeroponics and the JWC approach.
And as Canadian growers got ready to ship product through official channels prior to legalization, James and the team went to Moncton, New Brunswick to find out how Organigram planned to smoke the competition.
We're here inside glorious and beautiful room 24. What do we got here?
So we're in an Edison room and we're looking at Edison Reserve here.
When you say Edison, what are you talking about? I thought this company was called Organigram.
So we just recently launched our core recreational brand, the Edison Cannabis Company. And within the Edison Cannabis Company, there's a sub-brand called Edison Reserve. So that's the creme de la creme. It's our top buds that get hand manicured and craft cured afterwards.
So this is Edison Reserve.
This and this and this and this.
And the lower buds?
They go to the Edison standard line. They go through a machine trimming process, so more of a mainstream product.
Is it still going to be Organigram that focuses on the medical market?
Exactly. Organigram will be our core medical brand, always will be.
What are some of the other brands besides Edison that you recently launched?
Yeah, so we've got Anchor Organics, which will be our recreational facing organic brand. And we've also got the Trailer Park Buds. So Trailer Park Buds, we're going to be launching with pre-rolls only across the country.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
those guys can't roll to save their lives.
Convenience. Convenience what it's all about. We've received some initial guidelines from Health Canada on how recreational packaging could look. Going to be heavily regulated, child resistant. So we've gone ahead and done some initial mock-ups. So you're looking at the Edison Cannabis Company line of packaging. You'll notice there's the THC symbol that has to be on all packaging. The logo can be no bigger than this standardized THC symbol. The Edison Cannabis Company was our decision to create a brand focused on innovation, focused on product. And as we move forward with expanded product lines, such as vaporizers and edibles, definitely the Edison brand positions us well for future innovations.
So at Organigram, when you put all that together, I think it's a combination that's unseen in Canada in today's marketplace.
A trip to New York gave James the exclusive opportunity to interview the former president of Mexico, who's now a representative of Chiron. And here's what he had to say.
So you were formerly the head of Coca-Cola, the president of Coca-Cola Latin America. And to what extent do you envision using lessons from your time as the head of Coca-Cola Latin America to bring to bear on Chiron to help them succeed in the Latin American marketplace?
Well, you know, I'm 76 now, and I joined the Coca-Cola company when I was 18. So almost 68 years ago. Marketing is the same. It's the same. As you produce, you have somebody to consume, but now the tortilla has been turned around. Now you tell me what you want me to produce, I produce it and I give it to you.
And just this month, James was able to ditch the Canadian winter, head to sunny Florida, and visit one of Liberty Health Sciences' facilities.
The most interesting thing about Florida is we control the entire seed to sale. So we control everything from the production of our product all the way to the dispensaries, and we're permitted to open up to 30 dispensaries in Florida. This is our room that we have all of our mothers. We've since retrofitted all the facilities up to our standards. We've also seen an output upgrade of upwards of 40%. So come along and I'll show you some of our plants. Within this room, we have 3 separate strains. We also have other green rooms that have other genetic profiles. One of the benefits of being in Florida is just really maximizing the potential of the sun. So we really have some of the lowest electricity rates out of any other greenhouse that we've seen. This is our processing facility. What we produce in here are products for Mary's medicinals as well as packs. We have an exclusivity within Florida. So we produce everything from transdermals to ointments to vaporization pens. Try to offer as many options as we can.
What a great year it's been. Who knows where 2019 will take James and the team. For Midas Letter Live, I'm Liz West.